Welcome back to Magoo's Reviews. All right, y'all. So the Clipse is all in the news right now. Let God sort them out. Their new album drops next month. First album in a long time, man. One of the most legendary hip hop duos in the game, man. On top of that, Pharrell, he's producing the whole album. So really excited for it. Really excited for it. Now, they dropped an article on GQ talking to the Clipse and everything like that. They had a lot of things to say on this album. Things none of us were privy to about certain features, like the Kendrick Lamar feature is confirmed. I think it has been confirmed a while back, but there was also a big hoopla over that. The whole reason they were fighting with the label over the verse. Then they got support from another label. So yeah, man, we're gonna dive right into it. I didn't go to GQ exactly. I read the GQ article, but man, that joint's too long. So I went to Our Heart, just they picked out, the juicy parts, pause, of the article. So we're just gonna go ahead and go through them, man. But like I said before, I am excited for this album. I just did a review on their track that they just dropped. Really good track, man. So and the MCs, man, and one thing I love about hip hop, man, I love lyricism. I love lyricism, bro. So I'm very happy that they're both back. I really am. So anyway, man, getting into this comes from ourheart.com. Pretty much saying the Clipse reveals how Kendrick Lamar's collaboration caused them to deal with Def Jam. So pretty much the collab with Kendrick cost them their Def Jam deal. That's crazy, bro. So pretty much, man, getting right into it. Says the Clipse plans to join forces with Kendrick Lamar on their long-awaited album, but the collaboration reportedly cost them a record deal at their longtime label Def Jam. On Monday, June 2nd, GQ published its cover story featuring Pusha T and Malice after they confirmed the release date for their highly anticipated album, Let God Sort Them Out. Right? Again, this comes out next month. Deep within the profile, the Virginia-based duo confirmed their fourth studio album was actually completed last year. So the album was already done. Because there was a lot of fans like, yo, when's the album coming out? When's the album coming out? Because they've been teasing it since last year. And the fact that now we know why, why it's pushed back. Now we know why it's pushed back. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was teased since last year. So the album's been done, I'm guessing. So goes on to say, they played the album for Def Jam, who loved every minute of it, except for their collaboration with K-Dot called Chains and Whips, right? All right. Man, gonna get right into it, man. It says pretty much Def Jam. They wanted me, now I'm sorry, this is Push T. They wanted me to ask Kendrick to censor his verse, which of course I was never doing, Pusha explains. And then they wanted me to take the record off. And so after a month of not doing it, Steve Gowley, I probably butchered that, my bad, the lawyer from over there was like, we'll drop the Clipse. But that can't work because I'm still there solo. But if you let us all go, just ... Yeah, man, so pretty much Pusha was saying they wanted them to, the label wanted them to censor Kendrick's verse. They wanted to censor his verse. And then at the point when he was like, nah, he's like, now they want to take off the verse. So, I mean, that's take him off the record pretty much. That's pretty big news. Like, so that's where everybody's like, yo, what's he saying? Is he throwing shots at Drake and stuff like that? And people saying it wasn't that, because Pusha T does the same later on in the article, but that there are no subliminals or anything like that towards Drake. But I guess the label looking at Kendrick and Pusha T, getting together on a song, which they have done songs before. You know what I mean? That's a bad look. So they wanted Kendrick off, but at the same time, like somebody said, I read a comment, when I was watching the video on this, they're like, this is great marketing for that song. Because everybody, when that song drops, they're going to go right to that song because they're going to want to hear what he has to say. Overall, I can't wait for the album, period. I want to listen to the whole album. You got, man, come on, man. You got the Clipse back with Pharrell. But then on top of that, we all know Kendrick does great work with Pharrell as well, as far as like his songs. I mean, come on. They got All Right. You know what I'm saying? Which is one of his biggest records. So yeah, I can't wait to hear the production on this song, man. That's another thing. I really can't wait to hear the production on this track. What goes on to say, man, it says apparently Def Jam's parent company, UMG, was uneasy about the optics of two of Drake's biggest enemies on a track together. Again, like I just said, this is coming down from UMG. It's more so optics that two guys that pretty much dog walked them, you know what I'm saying, on a track together. But like I said, I want to say when they did Nostalgia, I don't think Story Adidon came out all right. I don't think Pusha and Drake went back and forth at that time. I don't think so. I want to say that was before the Pusha and Drake battle. Then after that, Pusha and Drake happened. Then after that, Kendrick and Drake. But yeah, pretty much that's optics coming from UMG, that they were uneasy about them getting together on a song. Goes on to say the collaboration would drop in the middle of Drizzy's lawsuit, because the lawsuit does happen. I'm going to say, yeah, the lawsuit's coming up, man, that whole lawsuit against UMG. The collaboration would drop in the middle of Drizzy's lawsuit against the label following the Canadian rapper's explosive beef with K-Dot. Pusha T thinks Def Jam's concerns about their collaboration are stupid. It is come from Pusha. Anyway, especially since Lamar's bars have zero reference to his beef with Drake. Again, Pusha saying like there is nothing that has to do with Drake in his bars. Pretty much all y'all were just afraid that it was just me and Kendrick on the song together, and you didn't like how that looked because Drake's, he's in the battle right now against UMG. You know what I'm saying? About the whole not like us. So it wasn't about what Kendrick's saying, because he said right here, there's nothing to do with, Drake. So anybody who's sitting there saying, oh, it has something to do with Drake is saying right here in the article and from GQ, it has nothing to do with Drake. Like, he has anything he's saying in that verse has nothing to do with him. He's over that pretty much. It says, after the duo refused to censor Lamar, Def Jam responded by terminating their contracts with both Clipse and Pusha T, who had a solo deal with the label. All right. But get this, though. It goes on to say, Def Jam's decision allowed Clipse to shop their new album, complete with a Kendrick Lamar collaboration, around to other labels until they landed at Jay-Z's Roc Nation distribution. That's smart. That's smart for Roc Nation, because now they know, oh man, this got a lot of hype around it. You got the Clipse back, you got Pusha T, got Malice back, no Malice, Pharrell production, and this Kendrick Lamar feature. Yeah. So that was, what I'm saying, after they got dropped by Def Jam, for Roc Nation to pick that up, yeah, that's definitely smart on their part. Says the duo feels a lot more supported and energized at its new home, with Pusha saying the synergy just in a rap sense is going to speak volumes. I like that. Synergy just in a rap sense is going to speak volumes. When asked if a new song with Jay-Z is in the works, all right, now this is where, now this for me, if you guys been watching my channel, I'll be like, man, I wonder if Jay's going to have a, surprise feature. Like, it makes sense for him to be on the Clipse album. Like, him and Pusha, they always do great work together. He was on Pusha T's last album. So, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Pharrell in the production. We all know Pharrell and Jay-Z have a great relationship. They got hits together. So I'm like, that collab just makes sense. You know what I mean? But goes on to say in the article, when asked if a new song with Jay-Z was in the works, Push didn't exactly downplay the possibility. We made history a couple times, Pusha T says. Exactly. I feel like being in business is a bigger link up than any verse. So he's more so on the business side of like, I'm more so happy to have business together than a verse. So, pretty much, Clipse dropped Ace Trumpets, which I did a review on my channel. The first single from the album last Friday, the duo's first full-length project in over 15 years, is set to drop July 11th via Roc Nation. Yeah, man, so, that goes on. That's pretty much the end of that article. Like I said, it just pretty much took like, not the important parts, but pretty much like the parts that a lot of people are going to go towards, like a lot of articles and publications they're going to highlight on their side. Pretty much just took those parts of the article. Overall, man, I'm excited for the album. I can't wait for the album. I said that in my last review for Ace Trumpets. Really, I mean, at the end of the day, now that I know why it was pushed back, like, oh, wow. It was more so the fact that y'all didn't like Pusha T and Kendrick getting on the song together. Like I said, Drake's two biggest enemies, because he lost both those battles. I don't care what you say, he lost them. He lost both those battles. And now, they didn't like that. So pretty much after they saying, nah, we ain't changing it. Oh, we'll take the record off. We ain't doing that. You dropped them. But for Roc Nation to pick them up, knowing like, oh yeah, this album's going to be hot. And you got Pharrell on the whole production. That's dope. And you got the Kendrick Lamar feature. Now, there was something else that, I wonder if it talks about it in here. But yeah, Pusha T did talk about Kanye, very briefly in it. He did talk about Kanye. He also talked about Jim Jones. Like I said, the GQ article is pretty good, man. So he's going to have some things to say about Jim Jones, because if you guys do remember, Jim Jones was taking shots at Pusha T. And I want to say he dropped a diss track as well. I don't think Pusha T responded. I think it said Pusha T dropped subliminal, and like it was like a fashion show. Like he did a track for a fashion show. And he dropped like a subliminal at Jim Jones, and Jim Jones came back. So we shall see. But I guess he's gonna have something to say about the whole Jim Jones situation as well. But overall, man, hey, I'm happy, man. The rappers are rapping again. Well, the rappers always been rapping, but it's good to see them back. It's good to see legends back. It's always good to see the legends active. That's one thing I do support on my channel. I love to see the legends active, man. Those are the people I grew up on, and I respect the youngsters today. But I love to see, man, like the MCs out there rapping, man. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this album. I think it was a smart move for Roc Nation as well to pick it up. Anyway, tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section. Again, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I hope everybody has a blessed day. I'll see y'all soon. Have a good one.